Welcome back to our Sky Blues walk. Well, the jinx at Preston continues. We've got Jay and Tom to unpick it. But has Mark Robins given up? He looks like a man defeated. And more fans week on week are now turning on the hero. How is that possible? To review all of that and to look ahead, of course, to QPR and Luton this week, we've got our Sky Blue fans. Thank you very much for joining us. This is still where Sky Blues walk. All right, Jay, Tom, welcome back, and of course, welcome back from Deepdale as well. We're going to get into the Mark Robins bit in a second, but let's talk about the football first. Jay, was that a game that could have gone either way, and the first goal was going to win it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think Preston were quite poor. We were very poor. They had a couple of chances. Keeper made a couple of good saves in the first half. We had a couple of chances as well ourselves. So yeah, 100% agree with you. First goal considered the game. I think a draw on reflection would have been a fair result. But if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you're going to pick up points, unfortunately, for us. So, yeah, it's one of those, unfortunately.
Freddie Woodman made an excellent save, didn't he? Towards the end to stop it being 1-1. Tom, you were there in the stands. What was your view of the game?
I thought they were actually the better team in the first half. Dovin had to make some really good saves in the first half to keep us in it. It could have been 3-0 at half time, to be honest. I was looking at the stats after the game, and we had one shot on target. It was in like the 90th minute, and it was Bobby Thomas. We're just not taking our chances. I thought second half we were actually quite good. I'm going to try and stay positive. I don't want to be all negative. Second half was much better. I think if we play like that against QPR, I reckon we'll beat them. I think that was a really good second half, but first half was just really poor. But after the game, it was just really sad to see really how toxic it's got. But we just need a win. It'll all turn around hopefully. So,
okay. I'm glad you mentioned the toxicity. So let's get straight into that. Remo says, I went. I don't agree. This is with his comments. Let's not sugarcoat this performance. It was tragic. I think Mark has given up. I'm sad to say, but I think he has. All right, Tom. You were in the stands when this little spat with the fans, I think, happened, or you were certainly behind it. What was your view of what happened?
Yeah, it was just really not great to see. It was really sad actually. So obviously I see Joel coming over and all the other lads are stood there, but they're not coming over. They're all just stood in the back a bit. None of the coaches are there, which is a surprise really. But Joel comes over. He's saying like, we know. And some of the fans, we've seen all the videos, are giving him a bit of stick. But I just applaud Joel for coming over. Fair play to him because it takes a lot of guts to come over when you've got a lot of fans that are annoyed. But then obviously Robins comes over and it's just so sad, such a legend, and we all love him. Just to see so many people turning against him recently and what's happening, it's so sad. But it can turn around at any point, as I said earlier. But it's not great at the moment. I just feel for Robins, really. I just feel like he's not getting backed. So I feel like he's on his own in this position.
Should any manager, though, come over to a fan who's travelled and do the cry some more kind of gesture? That doesn't help his cause, does it?
No, that is true. I mean, I read from the person on Twitter, I'm pretty sure that it was there, that apparently he said like cry more. If that's true, I'm not agreeing with that because that obviously we've all paid money. We've all travelled I travelled like 2.5 hours there and back. So about 5 hours nearly overall to watch that performance. And it really wasn't good enough. So I totally get fan frustrations. And if Robins is doing that, then that has to change it completely. I mean, we all love him, but if he's saying cry more to fans, then that's how bad it's gotten. But hopefully it's all taken out of context, but yeah, it's not looking great.
Jay, if you take the game in isolation, Joe Coventry says, the last away win was March, 7 months ago. We've won 9 points out of 54, so he needs to stop using buts and maybes and stop telling fans to stop crying. It's also not just one of those games. It's actually 14 of the last 16. Fans are angry now. Do you get it, Jay? Can you see more and more each week where this anger's coming from?
Yeah, it's sort of the performance compared to last year and the year before. We had slow starts, but We were playing well. We were missing a lot more chances. We are missing chances this season also. But just the performances aren't very good at the moment. Again, about the midfield, everyone was dying for Ben Sheaf to come back, but hasn't really done. I think maybe the midfield looks a little bit with him in there, because we're getting the ball. The good him and Eccles very good breaking up the play, but they just cannot pass a ball to save their life. So the performances aren't very good. Van Aerwijk on the right back, not driving forward. We've got all these attackers not scoring. I think we scored 10 goals all season, must be 14 goals, something like that. So the performance aren't fantastic. So again, Tom mentioned he travelled 5 hours. That's 5 hours for a 12:30 kickoff. So it's a very early start for the fans, paying a lot of money. It's not cheap to go and watch football matches these days. The tickets, the commute as well, trains or coach, however they get down. So fans are, you can vent your frustration. Very strange for Mark to come over. He normally sort of stands back a little bit, and used to have AD next to him. But this time, obviously, he saw. From what I've read on Twitter, obviously Twitter is everyone's going to appear on Twitter. Apparently, the fan gave him these, and then he walked over to him and gave him a little bit of probably more sort of in that case. But they also try and tell the fans to sort of stick with them as well. So as the tweet says, he looked fed up. Last week he sounded fed up to me. This week he looked fed up. It's just he looks like he's putting the work in, but he's just not getting the output from the players. And all you ask as a fan is you want to see your players fight for you each week. You put the effort in, and it's sort of there, but it's not sort of good enough. The first thing you should do is run your socks off. That's all the minimum you ask from a player, I would say.
Yeah, good shout there. Tom, the flip side of some of them were saying from Jake here, these players are going to get Mark Robins set, and if they do, I won't ever forgive them. And I just feel the end is coming near. To be honest, time for them to step up now. So that isn't all against Robins. We've got still a groundswell of fans that are saying, "Look, it's the players, the coaches. We need to be more supportive." But each week, Tom, we come on here saying it's the players; they're not putting it in. Yet, he seems to be picking the same players that keep letting him down each week. What can he do to change it?
Exactly, and that's one of the biggest issues. He can't seem to find his comfortable starting 11. It keeps changing every week. The defense keeps changing up front. Bassett and Sims are starting. Bassett was on the bench for like the past 3 games, and then he plays in the 21s, gets 4 goals, fair play, great for his confidence, and then he's starting. It just doesn't really make any sense. And at the moment, Sims is just not doing it for me. I think he needs to be dropped as well. I think Wright should be starting. Fair enough, he came back from international duty, so obviously resting him a bit, but he has to start against QPR and Luton, in my opinion. Thomas Stante as well. I'd like to see more of him because he's energetic, he's lively. I really like him. But Sims at the moment is really struggling. He did this last season, but it's getting really bad now with Sims. But just seems quite lazy in games. So I love Sims as well, so I always want to back him. I don't want to slate him, but he needs to start scoring and moving a bit more eventually. But it's weird with Bassett as well. I mean, he looks really good. He was lively. He was chasing the ball a lot, which is good to see. But it's just weird that he's on the bench and then he's starting after getting 4 goals in the 21s. It seems Robins needs that 11 to stick with every game, but he keeps swapping it around. And once he gets that 11, I reckon we'll be fine. But he has to find that 11 first.
Okay. QPR then next, Jay, a team who are absolutely tragic at home. Just lost to Portsmouth.
We're tragic away.
I was going to say that.
How's
this going to go?
It's going to be a 7-7 or a 0-0 kind of draw. I'd imagine it's going to be the most winning game ever, or absolutely woeful. Again, I was having a chat with somebody on Twitter today. Like every game, after every game, I get angry and I get upset, and then I sort of calm down a little bit, and then I get sort of a little bit excited, and I'm like super positive. We're going to really thrash these guys So I'm in the stage now. I think, oh, we're going to win the game, but I stupidly think this every time we play a game. I think we're going to win, which is a joy being a Cov fan, so to let you down a little bit. But again, I live quite local to QPR, so I've got quite a few fans who are QPR fans. Friends who are QPR fans, and they've given us a 3 points already, which I don't really agree with. But I think, I don't know. To the performances, again, we did obviously Blackburn had a good game. Sheffield, I thought we were a bit unlucky to lose that. To lose that game, we should have got at least a point for that fixture. Yesterday, as Tom mentioned, first half I thought was okay. Wasn't fantastic. Second half a lot better when the injuries a little bit up. If we bring that second half performance, as Tom mentioned, I think we will do well. Again, as Tom's alluded to as well, we just need to pick. I've said this for weeks. He just needs to pick his best 11. People he can trust. He's changed formation now. I think he probably stick to that formation. I would go with something else, but just stick to his best 11 for 5 games. You boys, are my boys for the next 5 games. Do what you got to do. Again, Bissett, as Tom mentioned, didn't play for 3 matches. Did fantastic with 21s, then he's starting. Did really well in that game, then got taken off. I don't understand why he was taken off. Rodoni was doing okay, got taken off. It just seems to be that he's just chopping and changing, trying to find his best team, his best formation, and he's a bit unsure of what's going on, which is very unlike Mark Robbins. But after all the negativity, we're going to win 3-0. So yeah, we'll see.
I said 3-0 as well.
Brilliant. Okay. Tom, after the Luton game, the fixtures look like you've got Middlesbrough, Sunderland in there. You've also got after the international break a reunion with Callum O'Hare, of course, was Sheffield United come back visiting Derby County as well, thrown in there as well. So stupid question time, but how important is it from Luton and from QPR that when we meet you next week that you have got some points on the board? Because I'm getting a little bit worried about Coventry at the moment in terms of the relegation zone and how that's kind of looking. I mean, you won't go down. I'll eat my hat if you do, but this week is a crucial week for Mark Robbins, isn't it? Lose these 2 and he's got to go.
I was actually thinking that earlier. I was thinking that. I was thinking if he loses these next 2 games, I reckon he could be gone. I'd still give him till Christmas, but you never know what's going to happen. But I would take a draw tomorrow night. I mean, I wouldn't want a draw. It's not the end of the world. A draw and beat Luton, but I want 6 points. I think we need 6 points this week, but we shouldn't be drawing tomorrow night. We should be beating them. So our record there is quite good as well.
If you're not beating QPR in the form they are,
no, exactly.
That's not good luck. Again, I'm a massive fan, like you, Tom, as well. But how many we got? 1, 2. We've won 1 in the last 4. 2 in the last what? How many games? 2 in the last 8 gagames we've won. And I've been saying for the last amount of weeks. Last X amount of weeks, I've been saying this week's really important for Robin. He has to get points on the board. He's going to get 4 points, and unfortunately, not doing it. So this week, 6 points. I'm sure of it.
6 points.
Sure of it.
Also, what I'm worried about as well is that obviously if we win tomorrow night and then we lose to Luton, it's just like Blackburn and Sheffield Wednesday all over again. We beat Blackburn, we lose to Sheffield Wednesday, we're back at square one again. So 6 points, yes, please.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Good luck with that. It's also Halloween, of course, so we're asking all our podcasters this week for their scariest and nastiest player that's ever put on a Coventry shirt. So, Jay, for you, who's that sort of player that you used to watch in the stands and you're thankful that they play for you and not for the opposition? Who's the nastiest Coventry player you've ever
big
seen?
centre back we used to have. I was a young lad at this. Well, maybe not so young. Big Mo Cognac. I remember him. He was like a centre back who always wanted in your team. He put his head on everything, his foot through everything. He was just like a massive brick wall. Had a face that you get scared walking down the AC in the middle of the night as well. Obviously, if he's watching this, apologise. I don't really mean that, but yeah, Mo Cognac was the guy that I absolutely loved in my team.
Okay. What about you, Tom?
I got 2, if that's okay. One is John Fleck, got a lot of yellow cards for us, but 2 was Carl McFadden as well. I mean, he was an absolute brick wall. I'm so happy he played for us. A lot of Cov fans will remember that photo. But I can't remember which team it was against, or I think it might have been Blackburn. Correct me if I'm wrong. All the players are laying on the floor, and Fads is the only one standing up. And that photo is an iconic Cov photo. All the Cov fans love looking back at that photo. So I'm going to go with him as well.
Right, brilliant. Can you beat any of those suggestions? Put it in the chat comments below. Thank you very much, both of you, for reviewing yet another defeat. I hope next week, when we are chatting with you, we can talk about 2 wins against QPR and against Luton Town. Enjoy the football this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Drop us a subscribe. You know what to do. Have a great week, everyone.